and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Every night, it's a new hero. Last night, it was Jose Trevino with a big two-run shot. Gave the Yankees the lead, and they held on to win another series. Their 20th comeback victory of the year. Next up on the schedule, the Houston Astros. Maybe a preview of a postseason series. Fans are filing in, and it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Houston Astros in the first game of a four-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Carlos Beltran and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. This should be fun. No love lost between these two teams. So let's start off by taking a look at the pitching matchup. And tonight's Discover matchup has Framber Valdez going for the Astros. You see his numbers all very good. Jameson Taillon for the Yankees, 8-1 with a 2.70, and he's pitched very well. Doesn't walk many people either. Let's start with Taillon, David.
Yeah, it is a great pitching matchup. Jameson Taillon seems to be getting better and better. He comes in on a roll, very confident in all his pitches. He's got 6 different pitches that he can mix in there. A good curveball and that good four-seam fastball. Jameson Taillon squarely in the middle of the All-Star game conversation, and Framber Valdez on the other end might be the best ground ball pitcher in the big leagues. A curveball sinker combination that really does lead the league in ground ball rate.
And both of these pitchers are going to have to deal with pretty good lineups. The Yankee lineup obviously features Aaron Judge and Yordan Alvarez for the Houston Astros. Both of those are going to be battling for the American League MVP. So, Carlos, we'll start with the magical night that Aaron Judge had last night.
Well, Michael, Aaron Judge, there's no doubt that right now he's the front runner for the MVP. Just having a great season offensively for the New York Yankees yesterday, just hitting 2 bombs. You know, and honestly, the way he's swinging the bat right now, the lower body's working properly. He just had nice and easy swing, and every contact that he makes leaving the ballpark. So Aaron Judge is just doing the heavy lifting for the Yankees. Yordan Alvarez is doing the same thing for the Houston Astros. You know, swinging the ball extremely well. He's a guy that, with base guys on run, you know, he just coming through offensively, and basically he's helping the team win a lot of ball games.
Two really good hitters, and take a look at these numbers. Judge leads the majors with 27 home runs. Alvarez is second with 21. All the other numbers pretty much are even, except for the runs scored. Judge has scored 10 more than Alvarez. I mentioned that these two teams don't love each other. The Astros have knocked the Yankees out of the playoffs 3 of the last 7 years. Meredith Marakovitz has more when we return right here on Yes.
Two best teams in the American League go head-to-head in what should be a packed Yankee Stadium this evening. Game 1 of the 4-game series between the Yankees and the Astros coming your way in just a few minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. It's no secret there is no love lost between the Yankees and the Astros. Aaron Boone was asked earlier today if there's any more juice heading into this series, considering the history between these two teams.
It's a shot in the arm series in a tough stretch. Again, coming in the middle of the night where you get back home, you know Yankee Stadium's going to be energized, and hopefully we feed off of that a little bit. And you're going up against a great opponent, so and a rivalry, you know, that certainly exists. That has to do with some past things too. So I think our guys look forward to that and like playing on the biggest stages against the best teams.
I spoke with the Astros bench coach Joe Espada earlier today, who told me this Astros team is always fired up when they step foot in Yankee Stadium. He expects it to be much of the same this evening. It's clear the stars are out tonight. You're not going to miss it. First pitch coming your way after the break.
The lineups, and he was lustily booed here in the Bronx. You can expect that for all 4 games. Let's take a look at the Astros starting lineup, brought to you by TikTok. TikTok taught me they don't score many runs, 4.32 runs per game, but they do hit home runs, 93 home runs, second to the Yankees in the American League and behind the Yankees and the Braves. In the majors, you have to look out for Altuve, Bregman, and Alvarez. And those boos you hear, they are for Altuve. He's going to face this guy, David.
Jameson Taillon towing the slab into boogie down here tonight against these Houston Astros. He's ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. He's had an all-star caliber season so far. He's an escape artist, runners in scoring position, leads the major leagues in that category of getting out of it. And the Mixmaster, 6 different pitches that he throws 9% of the time or more. There's nobody like that in the big leagues.
Altuve's ready. Taillon is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. Fouled away, and we're underway. Crowd still filing into the stadium on a Thursday evening. Yankees have 3 infielders on the left side. And Altuve is punked, and he will take first. And a concerned Dusty Baker will make his way out with the athletic trainer to see if Altuve's okay.
The two-seamer just ran up and in, and he's got the guard on there, Carlos, so he got it in a good spot off the guard. I'm sure that still hurts a little bit, though.
It's have to hurts, you know. I wore that pad too, and honestly, it's not fun when you get hit in the pad and that ball slide down and also get your skin.
So Dusty makes his way out to first base, and Altuve looks like he wants to stay in the game. Obviously, it hurt a little bit, but I don't think it injured him. Only time will tell, but he will stay in.
It's understandable that Dusty Baker would be concerned and protective of, in particular, Jose Altuve. I mean, the history is well known, Carlos, but there's no intent there. That's Jameson Taillon. He wasn't even here in 2017. That was just a two-seamer that got away, but I understand what Dusty's trying to do right there.
Yeah, he's trying to protect his guys. You know, there's no doubt that Altuve is just a big piece of that puzzle in the Astros. So being the manager, at the same time, you have to be able to protect your guys.
So man on first, and that'll bring up Michael Brantley. The Yankees have always struggled with Brantley since 2014. He's a .324 hitter. Only Jose Ramirez of Cleveland has a better number against the Yankees, .372. Missed outside. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. Hicks, Judge, and Gallo left to right in the outfield. Infield, LeMahieu, Kiner-Falefa, Torres, and Rizzo. That's third to first. Trevino behind the plate catching Taillon. That's the view from center field of this beautiful ballpark on 161st and River Avenue in the Bronx. Off speed, drops in there for a strike.
Well, Michael, you mentioned Bradley. He's just a professional hitter. He's just one of the guys that will not try to do too much out there. He will basically go with the pitch, understand the situation. So right here, he's just trying to stay in the middle of the plate and basically stay with what Taillon is giving him.
Home plate umpire is John Lipka, so let's do the scouting report on John. He is hitter-friendly. He calls fewer high strikes, tight inside corners, and John in his 6th big league season. There's the rest of the umpiring crew for this evening's game. 2-2. There's a base hit for Brantley. Altuve round second. He's going to third. The throw from Gallo is late, but stopping at first is Brantley, and the Astros are set up first and third and nobody out.
This is what I was talking about, Bradley. Just a guy that understands the situation. Every time you got a man on first, that hole in third base just become bigger. He's just trying to pull that changeup down the third base line, end up getting the hit to right field. Joey Gallo trying to do the best he could to get Altuve out at third base, but Altuve, he's just a great runner.
So here is Alex Bregman. Yankees playing back for the double play here in the first inning. Foul back, 0-1. Astros have won 3 straight games, 6 of their past 7. They just swept the Mets in Houston. As Dusty Baker has them in first place in the American League West. High drive, left field. Hicks looks, see ya. A 3-run home run for Bregman, and just like that, 3-0 Houston.
Well, Michael, Alex Bregman always loved this type of situation. Every time he comes to New York, love to play here. Love the big stages, bright lights here at Yankee Stadium. So came in through here for the Houston Astros.
Houston taking advantage of a couple of mistakes here. Brantley with a hanging changeup and a little cutter slider there that just stayed right there in the wheelhouse as Bregman knows it immediately. That'll be a 3-spot.
Little windmill celebration with Gary Pettis. Here is Alvarez. 1-0.
Good hitters don't miss mistakes. Bregman's been due to break out too as well.
Popped up, left field. Hicks puts it away for the first out. Bregman with his 9th home run, now has 35 runs batted in. And here's Kyle Tucker. It's time now for the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, the keys of the game is this is a true rivalry between the Astros and the Yankees. The long ball battle between Aaron Judge, 27 home run, leading the league, and Jordan Alvarez just behind Judge for second place. And home sweet home for the Yankees. You know, they're 29-7 at home. This is the team that is just every time they get to play at home, they play extremely well.
Yankees have a 14-game winning streak here in the Bronx, but they have fallen behind before they even step to the plate offensively. 3-0 on the Bregman home run. 0-1 count on Tucker. Well, the Yankees have had 20 come from behind victories. Yesterday was the 20th. And that ties San Diego for the most in the majors. They've had 7 blown leads, and that's the fewest in the majors. Right field, Gallo is there to retire Tucker. 2 outs. And here is Yuli Gurriel. He won the batting title last year, but a precipitous drop in batting average. He's down to .215, and many are wondering, has age finally caught up with him? He's 38 years old. Into left field, on the run is Hicks, makes the play, and that'll do it. But 3 runs, 2 hits, and nobody left on base. The Astros 3 and the Yankees coming to bat. LeMahieu first out of the dugout to try to make up this 3-run deficit. When we take a look at the entire Yankee starting lineup, brought to you by TikTok. TikTok taught me, and it starts with LeMahieu, the third baseman, Aaron Judge in center, Anthony Rizzo at first. Cleaning up, the DH Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres at second, Aaron Hicks in left. And the bottom third of the order, the shortstop Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Jose Trevino, the hero from last night, he'll catch him bat 8th, and batting 9th and playing right field, it's Joey Gallo.
He's going to face this lefty, Framber Valdez. Be his 14th start on the year. It's a good one so far. 7-3, 2.78 ERA, 28 walks against 68 strikeouts, but only 4 home runs given up. That's his specialty. the super sinker, as he generates 68.9% ground ball rate, which is not even close to anybody being second there. He's leading the league by a long margin there. Second is 55%, Logan Webb out in California with the Giants. And then you look at his curveball, it's money. 186 batting average against on that curveball. And his changeup doesn't only to right-handed batters. He does not feature it to lefties at all.
Well, there's a little bit of a cushion to work with before even throwing a pitch. And now he's about to throw his first pitch to LeMahieu. One and 0. LeMahieu had a great road trip, 7 for 21. And the Yankees had a very good road trip. They took 2 out of 3 in Toronto and 2 out of 3 in Tampa Bay. In fact, the 9 games, 6 with the Rays and 3 with the Blue Jays, Yankees 7-2. 3-0 on LeMahieu. Yankees are 51-18. The Astros are 43-25. Both leading their respective divisions by double digits. 4 straight out of the strike zone. LeMahieu with the walk. Take a look at the Astros defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers. You have Alvarez in left, Jose Siri in center, and Kyle Tucker over in right. In the infield, it's Bregman, Dubon, Altuve, and Gurriel. That's third to first. Martin Maldonado behind the plate, catching Valdez. And the MVP chance for Aaron Judge. Leads the majors with 27 home runs. He had 2 of them last night. 5 straight out of the strike zone for the Astros lefty. Foul back. Valdez, 10 straight quality starts. Now Judge has 6 multi-homer games in 69 team games. And that's second to Reggie. Reggie Jackson, 7 in 1969 in 69 games. And that was the year that everyone thought he was going to break Roger Maris's record. Had a great first half, didn't have as good a second half.
Reggie's in the ballpark tonight. Saw him in batting practice. Now advisor for the Houston Astros.
Three and 1.
Probably Reggie is leading those meetings in the clubhouse for the Houston Astros.
Think he jumps in there?
I think so. You know, he likes to contribute. He's a guy that wants to share his knowledge and wants to share what he knows.
Foul back. 3 and 2.
A couple of really good swings on high sinkers from Framber Valdez, who we noted. It's hard to get him up in the strike zone, and Judge seeing him up there, really a couple of good lashes there, just missing, fouling him back.
Short lead for LeMahieu at first. 3-2. Rip foul.
You made a good point, David. You know, Valdez has a sinker, and honestly, he has thrown Aaron Judge 2 sinkers kind of like chest high, where it will end up, you know, kind of like waist high for Aaron Judge. So that's the sinker that you want to look for if you're a hitter. You want to look for that sinker up in the strike zone because it has a lot of movement.
And the 3-2. Hit sharply and through for a base hit. LeMahieu advances to second. It's a single for Judge. First and second, nobody out. That brings up Rizzo.
Well, Aaron Judge remains very aggressive. As you can see, he spits on that first curveball, but then a good swing there. Not taking a strike, not giving an inch. Again, good eye down. He wants the ball up. He's keyed in right now, Carlos. Another really good swing up. Curveball, he's on it, yanks it foul. And then that one just smashed 114 miles an hour off his bat into the hole. Yankees first and second here, nobody out.
The Yankees trying to come right back here in the bottom of the first inning after the Astros put up 3 in their half. And here is Rizzo. And a strike. Fastball on the inside corner. LeMahieu is at second. Judge is at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the first. Yankees at the start seem very patient. They are willing to work Valdez.
It's a good sign on the Yankees. If you see that pitch called a ball, and Framber Valdez features that two-seamer at the knees all night long, and he's not going to get that call. That's a significant development early in the game.
Broken bat, slow ground ball. The flip to first, and they flip it to Altuve to get Rizzo as LeMahieu moves to third, Judge to second.
Well, Altuve is right on the money here because Valdez is not going to make it. He comes into the picture there, even with Rizzo running. Altuve playing it safe, and that's just heads up baseball right there by Jose Altuve.
It's a great play. Agree with you.
All right, here's Stanton, and the Astros play the infield back with a 3-0 lead. In his last 20 games, Stanton hitting .098. Pitch outside. That's 6 for 61, but he's been taking his walks, and Aaron Boone said that's a good sign.
Well, walks always are good. You know, when you get the walks, means that you're not really chasing a lot of pitches, but at the same time, you want to see the average go up.
High fly ball, right field. Tucker back, turning, looking. See ya! The other way, into the second deck. A 3-run shot. The game is tied.
Well, there's no doubt that he crushed that ball. Curveball in the middle of the plate. You know, when you make those mistakes to guys like Giancarlo Stanton, you're going to get paid. They're going to make you pay. So Giancarlo, great job hitting that ball out of the ballpark to right field, giving the Yankees the opportunity to tie this ball game.
15th home run of the year, now has 45 runs batted in. Torres swings at the first pitch and chops it to Bregman for the second out.
What a remarkable first inning.
Just a nice and easy swing, good balance. Just keeping the head on the ball. Seeing the ball all the way. Every time you get to see that curveball and you get to let the body work and the lower body work, as soon as he hit the ball, there's no doubt.
108 miles an hour off his bat the other way on a curveball. 383 feet up into the second deck.
So here's Hicks. Well, what a pick-me-up for Jameson Taillon. Gives up the 3-run home run in the top of the first. Yankees get it right back, all even again.
The first home run that Framber Valdez has given up on his curveball this year.
2-0 on Hicks.
And a great response by the Yankees and a message also to the Astros. You know, Astros came in and just get 3. The Yankees just say, we're going to put 3 in the board also.
Valdez taking a moment, staring out towards center field as Hicks waiting. Valdez does not have pinpoint control here early in the count, 3-0.
A reprieve for Jamison Tyone.
See, they green light Hicks here on 3-0. Inside, ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Valdez.
You know, Michael, and when you see a pitcher just moving his face like that in the mound, just basically letting you know, I don't have it. I don't feel comfortable out here. You know, you feed him that energy. Right now, Valdez doesn't have it, doesn't feel it, so this is a good opportunity to set him down.
So, Josh Miller, pitching coach, goes out and talks with Valdez. Similar start on May 4th of last year. First inning, Bregman with a 2-run home run. Bottom of the inning, Stanton with a 2-run home run. So here's IKF. And a strike.
It's a 4-game series, Michael.
Yes, it is.
This is the first inning.
Yes, it is.
Oh, boy. Buckle your seatbelts. So much anticipation for this series. And we talked about it. Carlos, Meredith Marakovits detailed it. Two teams with 10-game leads in their division. Sights set on each other. And then you have a first inning like this.
Fly ball right field. Tucker back. Makes the play in front of the track for the final out. But the Yankees get even. And they do it off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton. A breaking ball the other way. Into the second deck and right. A 3-run shot after 1. 3-3. Stick around. Well, download the MLB app to get video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your New York Yankees. So how rare was that first inning for Tyone? We'll tell you as Mauricio Dubon steps in. And there's a strike. 3 runs allowed in the first inning tonight. 3 total first-inning runs in his previous 13 starts this season. So, yeah, rare. And it was also rare for Valdez. He has 10 straight quality starts, and a quality start is at least 6 innings, giving up 3 runs or fewer. He's already given up 3 runs in 1 inning.
This is what you call a mulligan for both starting pitchers at this point, right? Right back to 0-0 in your mind when you're on the mound.
Now Dubon is playing shortstop because Jeremy Pena, who's really done a good job filling in for Carlos Correa, who departed as a free agent, signed with the Twins. Pena hurt his thumb of his gloved hand making a diving try for a ball in the outfield. He could come back either tomorrow or Saturday. 2-2. And the guy they prefer to back up Pena is Aledmys Diaz, but his shoulder has been barking. He's not on the IL, though. High fly ball, fairly deep left center. Drifting back is Hicks. He's there. 1 out. Let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by Montefiore, state-of-the-art healthcare in New York City, Westchester, and the Hudson Valley. So he's been on the 10-day IL, Pena, since June 15th. This season, look at the numbers. making a bid for Rookie of the Year, 277, 9 homers and 27 ribbies. So much concern about losing Correa, but he has really stepped in nicely.
You have done a great job, Michael. Jeremy Pena, honestly, like you mentioned, just to replace Carlos Correa, who's just one of the best shortstops in the game, and just coming in and putting the year that he's put in, that's a great thing to see.
Jose Siri fouls it back. Siri on Tuesday against the Mets in Houston hit a home run onto the train tracks at Minute Maid Park, and he really took a long look at it, admired it, flipped the bat. Dusty Baker was not enthralled with that. He said he should have run back in our day. The next guy would have gotten drilled. And Siri, after the game or after Baker spoke, said it was an error to do that. Dusty Baker is somewhat old school.
He is an old school, and he understands the repercussions that could happen when a younger guy like that made a mistake.
Siri down looking. Now, speaking of looking, here's the home run we're talking about.
I know it's a good feeling, when you hit the ball like that. But you have to understand that, guys could be hit, and especially when you play in an old school manner also, and Joel Walter, who understand that, you know what, it's okay for you to hit the home run, but at the same time, it's okay if we can send a message too.
Maldonado takes a strike.
I love Dusty Baker, but it's not back in his day. It's a different day. And who's going to be the police now? Who gets to celebrate when you celebrate? It's become confusing to me a little bit. Are we going to let the kids play or not?
Maldonado with a fly ball to right field. Going into the corner is Gallo toward the line. Leaps! And he made the play! He made the play! An outstanding catch by Joey Gallo! Take a look at this. Fighting the fans and winning the fight and getting the third out. Outstanding play by Joey Gallo to end the inning. Carlos, you've been there. How tough is this?
Well, it's tough, Michael. You have to give credit to, Gallo, just being able not to give up on that ball. Once you're feeling that warning track, when you run in the grass and you get to sense that warning track in your feet, a lot of time you can hesitate. He never hesitated. He went for it and made the catch. Great job.
Trevino leads off, and he takes a strike from Valdez. Gallo has proven himself to be much more comfortable in right than he is in left. Take a look at the Home Depot getting more done on Jose Trevino. Look at the last 24 games. Great numbers. 364, 6 homers, 18 ribbies. Broken bat, slow ground ball to Altuve. First out of the inning. Replace the divot as Gallo comes up.
You know what, Michael, I don't know about Gallo, but when I end up making plays like that, I wanted to be at the batter's box in the same inning, because that energy, you bring the energy from the outfield and that excitement.
One and 0.
It's a great point. I've never had that feeling. I was that guy on the mound. I guess you're right. You do get a little adrenaline going from that kind of a defensive play.
Yeah, and it's a short transition. You just make that great play. You come into the dugout. You just put in your helmet, and all of a sudden, you're in the on-deck circle, just watching the pitcher. So a lot of times, you just continue to bring the energy from the outfield to the offensive side of it.
Now, he has been taking some seats against tough left-handers, but they have him in the lineup today. And you sure know that he wants to do well against Valdez. That one is driven foul down the right field line. Count 2-2. LeMahieu on deck. Bottom of the second, a lot of action so far. 3-3 game. Swing and a miss. Gallo down on strikes, 2 away.
Well, almost 12 inches of drop on this curveball, as you see, vertically going down. Gallo out in front and over the top.
There it is on the yes super shot. And back to the top of the order, and LeMahieu, who walked in the first. Nubbed in front of the plate, grabbed fair, and Maldonado tags out LeMahieu for the final out. LeMahieu thought it was a foul ball and is having a word with John Lipka. But the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. So it hits behind the plate and then is grabbed in front of the plate by Maldonado, and the tag for the final out. Hey, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture was submitted by the Nociolo family. Marianne, Jake, and Aunt Jinda can't wait to take Adelina to her first Yankees game. She's all decked out. She looks great. She's enjoying this game right now. Loves that it's 3-3. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. And the boos come back as Altuve comes up for the second time. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He is going to get that reception for the rest of his career. And Carlos, you were a teammate of his. Does it bother him? Does he hear it?
Of course, Michael. You have to hear it. You know, as a player, you hear the boos, and sometimes that could play against you or could motivate you to basically go out there and put good at-bats. You know, there's no doubt that, you know, Altuve understands the situation. You know, 2017, I was also part of that ball club. And, you know, for the rest of our life, we will have to deal with that.
One-two.
Yeah, there's a difference between, you know, Altuve and Bregman. Bregman really feed on this type of energy. Altuve sometimes, you know, might not feed as well, you know, from that energy. You know, sometimes that gets to him.
Well, he's going to hear it, and he has been hearing it for a while now. Up the middle, and a base hit. So leadoff single.
You know, Altuve, just one of the guys that can reach to every ball around the home plate. The way he hits, you know, he could get to the ball far away, deep inside, up in the strike zone right here, just pitch away, staying in the middle. You know, now the Astros having the opportunity to have speed on third base on Altuve.
So here's Brantley. He singled to right in the first inning. Later came around to score, keeping Altuve close. So Altuve, since 2014, has more hits than any other player. Fourth place is DJ LeMahieu.
That's impressive numbers right there.
Let me give you a little bit of an idea of the type of offense the Astros have. They average 4.32 runs per game, 17th in baseball. Batting average of .239, 18th in baseball. On base percentage, .317, that's 14th. But they slug. They slug .418, that's 5th in the game. And they have 93 home runs, which is third in the game behind the Yankees and the Braves. Right in on the thumbs. Shallow right. Torres is there to make the play. One away. Well, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees. 70 degrees. The chance of rain is 40%. That chance of rain seems like it's over the right field grandstand right now. Humidity 67%. The wind out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Wasn't a great sign between innings when Yankee groundskeeper Danny Cunningham came out and spoke with the umpires and showed them the radar on his phone. Usually means that there is a possibility of rain on the way. Now, you said that Bregman, who hit the 3-run home run, likes these moments, likes the stage, doesn't mind being booed.
Yeah, he doesn't mind, and he loves it, actually. You know, he feed him that, and he understands the situation, and he understands that playing in New York, you're going to get some of that.
Right off the leg of Tyone. Karam's out. It's going to be an infield single. Let's see if it got him to the point that it hurt him. And the Astros have runners on first and second, one out.
It's definitely worth a visit, although Tyone is turning them away. But that was 101 miles an hour off of Bregman's bat. It might have got him off the bottom of the spikes. Hard to say there. Looked more ankle-ish to me. This will give us a better view right here.
Ouch.
Off the heel.
So now first and second for Alvarez. They retired him on a fly ball to left field in the first. Alvarez, very dangerous, leads the American League in OPS. Take a look at the stats with Lowe's. And he likes to hit here at the stadium. In 10 games, 310, 5 homers, and 9 ribbies. That includes postseason baseball. That one is ripped to right field, and that ball is gone over the wall. A 3-run shot by Alvarez, and it's 6-3 Astros.
Well, Michael Alvarez, we were talking early, you know, he's been slugging, doing the job, the heavy lifting for the Astros right here. Just another home run for him. They're number 22nd on the season. 3 runs for the Astros. You can see right here, as soon as he hit it, he knows that ball is gone. He's been doing that all season long for the Houston Astros. Have a good idea when he goes to the plate, has a good plan approach, and right there he was able to execute.
Little change up in the middle of the plate. Speeds up the bat. Anytime you throw a change up and you catch a lot of the plate with it, you just allow the hitter to get a barrel out in front. Line drive in this park to right field, that's gone.
Well, there's the OPS leaders in the majors since 2019, Trout and then Alvarez. An OPS leader in the American League this year is Alvarez, even before that home run, 1.064. And that's the most runs that Tyone has allowed this season. The 6 on the board. It's only the 3rd inning. Tucker rips one into right center. That gets past Gallo, and it rolls to the wall as Tucker picks up a double. Well, Tyone came into the game with a 2.70 ERA and is up to 3.33 right now.
Fastball right down the middle. Just another mistake by Tyone. There's no doubt that right now he's not feeling good on the mound. Pitch right there. Tucker just did a good job staying in the middle of the field, shooting the ball to right center for a double.
A lot of talk about Altuve, some of the other Bregman, some of the other great Astros players. Kyle Tucker might be their most productive player this year, both offensively and defensively leading their team in WAR, according to Baseball Reference. It's a great right fielder and a very productive batter.
Well, see what he's done since 2020. Top 10 in important offensive categories in the American League. Here's Gurriel. No action in the Yankee bullpen. Now they got 6 innings out of Montgomery last night in St. Pete. They added another arm today in Albert Abreu, sending down Clark Schmidt. So the bullpen's in pretty good shape if it has to cover some innings, but there's no breaks, there's no days off. So you don't want to really use that many today. Used Holmes and King yesterday. Everybody else had a chance to sit it out. And the next off day for the Yankees is July 4th.
Manny Banuelos is the one guy that's sort of your middle reliever that could eat up some innings for you at this point.
Now Schmidt is not on that budget, but he also pitched. And that's why you just saw 2 innings covered in yesterday's game, and they needed 3 innings to pick up Montgomery, who went 6. That one's out of play. Well, the challenge is simple. With no one up in that bullpen in right center field, the Yankees are saying, all right, get out of this. Do what you can do. Two. Judge is there. He'll put it away. Tucker tags. The throw comes in on one hop to third. So Tucker stays put.
The best deal in mobile. Get unlimited for only $29.99. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
Astros 6, Yankees 3, top of the 3rd inning. There have been 3 3-run home runs. Bregman, Alvarez, and Stanton, and that's the scoring in the game.
That probably is also rare to see that in the game.
So Tyone, who has pitched so well this year, and the Yankees are 11-2 in his 13 starts, is laboring to a point that we haven't seen all year. And Dubon with a high fly ball to deep center, backing up his Judge. He's there to make the play. But the Astros get 3 runs on 4 hits with 1 left. Buy Cadillac, be bold, and be yourself in the luxurious Cadillac sedan or SUV. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. And by Burke Rehabilitation. Get back in action with Burke. Some of the players that have modeled both uniforms, and guy sitting next to us, Carlos Beltran, played in both places.
The young version and the old version right there.
Who'd you like better?
I like both, you know. I feel like being young, there's a lot of things that you don't know. When you get older, you just basically get to understand a lot about the game, your body, and you know how to play the game. So both were good. Good speed, not such good speed.
Here's Aaron Judge. First pitch is a strike. It's starting to rain here at the stadium. Oh, and 2. Judge singled through the left side of the infield in the first inning. Swing and a miss. 1 away. .96 miles an hour, right on the outside corner with some sink on it. The rain in Super Shot almost seems like snow. Here's Rizzo. Grounded out to first in the first. Missed outside 1-0. So the Astros lead 6-3. First game of this 4-game set. We're in the bottom of the third inning. One on Rizzo. One and two. How tough is it to hit in the rain?
It's tough, Michael, because it's hard to keep your eyes on the pitcher when you get to see all those drops coming down your helmet, front of your helmet. A lot of times it's dripping, and you can get confused by that.
And David, how tough is it to pitch in the rain?
I think to Carlos's point, it's tougher for the hitters because you have to react and see. For a pitcher, it's just about the grip. You've got a rosin bag out there to use. As long as your hand is dry, you're okay with the grip, then everything's fine.
Starting to come down a little bit harder, and a lot of the crowd is scrambling for cover to get under the overhangs of each individual deck. So 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rizzo down on strikes, 2 away. And that'll bring up Stanton, and that brings us to the exit velocity on his home run presented by Spectrum Mobile. Go to SpectrumMobile.com today. 383 feet the other way, 108 miles per hour off the bat. First non-sinker home run allowed by Valdez this year. That was on a breaking ball. Now, usually when Stanton hits a home run, many others follow. He does hit them in bunches. Now, it was Stanton's 15th home run of the year and 362nd home run in his career, and that broke a tie with Joe DiMaggio for 84th place on the all-time list. Not just the Yankee list, Major League Baseball list. 1-1, 2-1. You see, they do not go with pitch com. They're giving signs the old-fashioned way. 2-1. And although Maldonado does not provide much offensively, they love him behind the plate. The pitchers love him. They love the way he calls the game. That's why he's in the lineup. They sacrifice the offense. The 2-2. Hit sharply to short. Nice hop for Dubon. And Valdez in the rain works a 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 in a row, and we go to the 4th. Yes, it's time for trivia. Who are the 5 current Astros who played on the 2017 World Series championship team? We'll get that answer in just a moment. Siri leads off against Tyone, and he bunts foul. Carlos, you were on that team. So was Cameron Maben. And we all know what went down with that team, the sign-stealing scandal. Do you believe that that championship is tainted?
Yeah, I think everyone knows that, it is tainted. Even though we had a good team, we had a good players almost in every position, basically an all-star almost in every position. There's no doubt that, basically we didn't do it right. There were a lot of things that we did that, according to the rules, were not right.
Grounded to third. Nice backhand pick there by LeMahieu to get the speedy Siri. 1 away.
What a pick. I mean, he made that look so easy. And then get something on the throw because Siri can fly down the line. Talk about trusting your hands. Stay on the backhand. Come up, make it a short hop. He made that very difficult play look very easy.
Here's Maldonado.
Siri got down the line in 4.13 seconds there. That is as fast as it gets from a right-handed batter.
David, why don't you take out your iPhone and ask Siri if that was a good play? 0-1 on Maldonado.
You know, Michael, you made a comment on Maldonado, you know, and the willingness of the Astros sacrificing, you know, the offense, because Maldonado, his offense numbers are not there, but defensively, his preparation behind the plate. This is a guy that studied well the hitters. He does a great preparation, but not only that, he also studied the umpires behind the plate. He basically knows what type of pitches like to call, if they like to call pitches in or out or up and down. So doing that, basically a study, allow Maldonado to have a job in the big leagues.
Well, he was so valued when they got him from the Angels in the 2019 deadline. He became Garrett Cole's personal catcher all of August, September, and Houston's run to the World Series. They lost in the series, but the run to the World Series, he was the guy catching Garrett Cole all the time. And you know how much Cole values his catchers and what they mean to his performance, so he wanted Maldonado behind the plate. You know, there's some talk that, you know, at this trade deadline, the Astros could pick up a catcher that would give them more offensively, but it might upset a pitching staff that's done very, very well. That's how much he means to them. Grounded to third. Backing up is LeMahieu. 2 away.
And to your point, David, on LeMahieu on third base, this is the flexibility that Aaron Boone has. You know, having a guy on third base that can play that position well, but also you could put him at second base, could do a good job, and you could put him at third base and also do a good job. So just great flexibility by Aaron Boone to have a player like that and hitting the top of the line of guys that could put quality at bats.
There's Altuve. He scored 2 runs so far, and the breaking ball is a strike. The rain looks like it's gone through here in the Bronx. 4th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1. Ripped, and it's a fair ball, and it goes into the corner. Fielding it out there is Hicks, and Altuve picks up a double with 2 outs.
Well, Altuve controlled his bat real well, was able to turn in this ball down the line for a double, just putting himself in a position to score another run here right here for the Astros. It's a good swing right there, just keeping that head on the ball, those eyes on the ball, and turning those hips.
So quick on a pretty good two-seamer from Jameson Taillon that was running in almost off the plate.
There's Michael Brantley. One and 0. Brantley finished second in the batting race in the American League last year. Gurriel won with a 319 mark, and then Brantley was second at 311. 14th big league season, either with Cleveland or the Astros. 5-time All-Star. He's had a quiet but really distinguished career.
Under the radar, but very consistent behind the plate. I mean, the way he played the ball, and also, you know, offensively and defensively, just very consistent.
Two and one. His dad, Mickey Brantley, played 4 seasons as an outfielder for the Mariners from '86 through '89. Soft ground ball to Gleyber Torres. Over to Rizzo, and that will do it. They work around the Altuve double. We go to the bottom of the 4th. From FanDuel Sportsbook. And right now, new customers get $200 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and start making every moment more. Audi scoreboard, the bottom of the 4th inning. Houston 6 and New York 3. First game of a 4-game set. And Gleyber Torres will lead off against Valdez. Now, we should tell you that getting into the Astros bullpen is not a relief, so to speak, because the Astros bullpen is very, very good. And they have the best ERA of any bullpen. So when you get into the bullpen, it's not automatically, well, you know, now we can do some damage. We got Valdez out of there. And it's an all right-handed bullpen. There's not a lefty out there.
It's kind of rare to have a bullpen like that where there's no lefty, because a lot of times you have this lefty for matchup, you know, during the game, especially late in the game when the lefty's coming up. You want those matchup, but the Astros feel like all righties have done the job for them.
Swing and a miss. Torres down on strikes, 1 away here in the 4th.
Couple of change-ups and then back to the 95-mile-an-hour two-seamer in the front door. The inside corner, right on by.
Here's Aaron Hicks, who walked in the first inning. The Astros have 7 hits and 6 runs against Taillon. The Yankees 2 hits and 3 runs against Valdez. Showing bunt, taking a strike, 0-1.
David, I want to get your input here on Valdez, because early in the game he seems like a hitting habit. Now seems like he's in control. As a pitcher, what are the motions that you go through, you know, when you give up 3 in the first inning and you're able to recuperate?
You know, I think the thing he went to was right back to the basics. Generally, he throws his fastball, his sinker, about 50% of the time. That's up to 70% tonight. Since that curveball home run he gave up to Giancarlo Stanton in the first inning. So he went back to kind of establishing his best pitch, that sinker. And against right-handed batters, he'll go sinker changeup.
Let's take a look at his arsenal. StatCast 3D by Google Cloud. That sinker and the curveball, those are the ones that he goes to the most, and the changeup is 3rd.
I mean, his curveball is very effective as well when it's right.
Grounded to short. 2 outs. Well, fans, you're going to want to be at Yankee Stadium tomorrow when the Yankees take on the Astros for Nasty Nestor Night. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Nasty Nestor Cortez t-shirt courtesy of Ford. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. Here's Nestor. 2 down, and that'll bring up IKF. grab by Valdez, sets and flips over to Gurriel. And a 1-2-3 inning. Valdez has retired 10 Yankees in a row. Thank you, Bob. We go around the majors. We start with Ohtani on Tuesday night. 2 homers and 8 ribbies. Last night he pitched, and he didn't give up a run in 8 innings and struck out 13. David Robertson got an at-bat. First time in his career, and Austin Hayes got a cycle. And Robertson struck out on a lot of big lollipop breaking balls. It was his 696th game, finally getting it at bat. Looked like he was having fun out there.
I bet he didn't even know what he was doing on the plate.
It's pitcher versus pitcher, or position player rather versus pitcher, in reverse roles.
David, do you remember what happened on this date, 1997?
I do. They showed it on the scoreboard before.
He struck out 16 guys, and against Detroit, Yankees won 5-2, and that set the Yankee record by right-handed pitcher. Since been tied by Michael Pineda, but 16 strikeouts, not too bad.
Yeah, I remember that at the old Tiger Stadium.
And Bregman down looking. He didn't like the call. Here's the way back machine, David.
Fastball, Fry. Swung on it, this right. 2-2 to Fry.
I really loved pitching at Old Tiger Stadium. You know, Wrigley Field, Fenway, Old Tiger Stadium. There's something about the history there, Carlos, that just pumped you up when you got to pitch there.
I feel proud of being the last out at Tiger Stadium.
What'd you do?
Strike out.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's in the books.
It'd be there forever, and not putting that place back up.
It's not a good, not a good day to be in the books, but I'm there.
2-0 on Alvarez. His 3-run home run, the difference in the game, as the Astros lead 6-3. That came in the 3rd inning. The Astros actually made a real smart move. They signed Alvarez to a 6-year, $115 million extension that kicks in next year. And for his production and the average annual value of that deal, wow, they got themselves quite a player at a bargain. They turned him loose on 3-0. He fouled it away.
Michael, I think it's a good deal. Understanding also that Alvarez has 2 knee surgeries, even though he's young, but at the same time, it's a give and take. You have to understand that, in his case, coming from Cuba, and having the opportunity to be at the big league level, and $100 million deal is not a bad deal.
And he gets paid for hitting the ball like that, right into the short porch and right. So the count 3-2 on Alvarez. That one's ripped into right center field. That ball is one hop up against the wall, played out there by Judge, and Alvarez will stop at first.
Something that I like to see on Alvarez, just the way he turned that front hip, just to remind himself to club himself. He don't want to be open too soon. That's why he's capable of hitting the ball to the middle of the field and also being able to pull the ball, but without hook. And every time you see a ball hit without hooking, means that you're really staying in the middle of the field.
When's the last time you saw a single hit out there in the deep gap in right center? It's 114 miles an hour off the bat, and Judge's arm holds Alvarez to a single in the gap.
Well, Stanton has the highest average exit velocity than Alvarez and Judge. 1, 2, 3 right here in this game. That one's laced into left center field. It's a base hit. Yankees had 4 outfielders. Hicks in left center, fields and throws it in as Alvarez moves to second. A single for Tucker.
Told you about Tucker before. He's a good player, having a good year. two-way player. Good speed. Excellent hitter to all. Kind of a slashy hitter, Carlos. Gap to gap. And a really good defender as well.
Last year, 294, 30 homers, and 14 steals. And he said one of his goals every year is to have a high batting average and have 30 home runs and 30 steals.
Those are great goals, Michael, for any player.
There's Albert Abreu, his first day back with the Yankees. Oh and 2. Alvarez having a conversation with Gleyber Torres. Dubon is on deck. The 0-2 to Gurriel. Swing and a miss. Gurriel strikes out. He's 0 for 3 against Tyone.
Gurriel this year strike out, but also struggling at the plate. You know, there's no doubt that he's coming off his body. His lower body's not in play every time he goes to hit. And that's a good feeling. That's a bad feeling, actually, as a hitter, when your lower body is not there.
There's Mauricio Dubon. And he bunts and bunts foul. So trying to get on with 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning. 6-9-0 for the Astros. 3-2-0 for the Yankees. 3-run home run by Bregman in the first. A 3-run home run by Alvarez in the third. And the Yankee runs a 3-run home run the other way into the second deck by Stanton in the first inning. Fly ball left field. Hicks is there and puts it away for the final out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We're halfway through. Play. Well, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Yankee Stadium, and the Astros lead 6-3. Trevino, Gallo, and LeMahieu. And Trevino, the hero in last night's game, Meredith, and you had a chance to talk with him.
Michael, he's had a lot of big hits for the Yankees this season, and both Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge said after last night's game, Jose Trevino deserves to be an all-star this year. He's been getting it done on both sides of the ball. 6 home runs so far this season, a total of 5 all of last year. I spoke to Garrett Cole about him earlier today, and he said, look no further than the numbers. They speak for themselves, and look at the impact he has had on this team. Oftentimes, catchers are the heartbeat of the team, and Trevino has done a great job setting the rhythm. As far as Cole is concerned, he is as good as an all-star. Now, when Trevino was asked about it, he said, well, that would be cool, but it's an individual accomplishment. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to win a championship. You have to love that attitude, guys.
Well, he's certainly helping them toward that goal, and the only catcher in the major categories that has better numbers is Alejandro Kirk of the Toronto Blue Jays. So he's second in those major categories that you saw on the screen. We'll see. You would assume that, you know, with the record they have, there are going to be a lot of Yankees on that team. Now, does that keep him off? Would he be one of those lot of Yankees on the team? And you can make a case for a lot of the pitchers in their starting staff, and Clay Holmes and the like, and even Michael King. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes to L.A. Aaron Judge has the most votes of any player. Did you enjoy going to the All-Star game, Carlos? Is it something that you really did want?
It's a privilege, Michael, even though sometimes, you know, the rest feels good, but when you go and be part of, you know, of that being selected to an All-Star game, it's a privilege. You know, the fans voting for you, they want you there. And it's a good experience because you share the same clubhouse with guys that you look up to around the league, and you get the opportunity to talk to them, share information, and learn from them. So it's a great experience.
Carlos went to that game 9 times in his career. Fly ball right field. One away. I think it was at an All-Star game, David, that Mariano taught Roy Halladay the grip on the cutter and kind of took Halladay to even a higher level.
It's the best. Carlos is absolutely right. My best experience, not after the first one, which is always, when you're a young player, that experience is like no other. But in 1999 at Fenway Park, and Ted Williams was in the middle of the diamond, that collection of All-Stars, that's a memory of a lifetime.
Joey Gallo takes a strike from Valdez. Now David went to 5 All-Star games. I also went to that All-Star game in Boston. I wasn't selected. I was covering the game. But that was fun. I don't think anybody that was there that night will ever forget that.
No, Pedro Martinez came out firing. I think he struck out 5 out of 6 batters to start that game on the American League side.
And Gallo down on strikes. Valdez has now retired 12 in a row after the Hicks walk in the first inning. Well, when Taillon was walking to the dugout, he caught Aaron Boone's eyes and said, "I'm good." So looks like he's going to come out and pitch the 6th as well. And there's a strike. And the more innings he could tack on, even if the Yankees don't come back, and they certainly have made a habit of doing that, well, that might help them win tomorrow. It makes the bullpen more rested tomorrow. Every game is interconnected. One and one on LeMahieu. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Astros play him absolutely straight away, infield and outfield. One and two. The Astros left-hander just looks completely different than he did in the first inning. Just more in command, working quicker with confidence. Judge on deck. As LeMahieu fouls that curveball off. So 70 pitches for Valdez with 2 outs here in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Got him. 13 in a row retired by Valdez. Yankees go down 1-2-3. We go to the 6th. Well, fans, remember that the second game of this series tomorrow night is exclusively on Prime Video. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the pregame, and first pitch is scheduled for 7:05. Then after the final out, turn to yes for post-game coverage and clubhouse reaction. Severino against Verlander tomorrow. As series swings and misses as we start the 6th. 6-3 Astros, first game of this 4-game set. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
It's a marquee matchup, Michael. Another one in this series. It's an old school one where you buy a ticket for those 2 starting pitchers, right? Like like back in the day. That guy's pitching and that guy's pitching. Yeah, I'm buying that ticket. I want to see that one.
Verlander coming back from Tommy John surgery in 13 starts, 8-3, 2.30. He's been great. And Severino coming back from years of injuries. He's been outstanding as well. High pop-up. One away. Well, next Wednesday on Yes, first place NYCFC hits the road for a matchup with FC Cincinnati. Coverage presented by Montefiore begins at 7 on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. Rain coming down again here at the stadium. Here is Maldonado, 0 for 2. Nice running play, reaching into the crowd by Gallo in the second inning on a foul ball, and then a ground ball to third in the fourth. Fouled away. Lucas Littke getting ready. "12 big league seasons for Maldonado. 35 years old, from Puerto Rico. From Naguabo.
Naguabo.
Where's that?
Naguabo is in the southeast of the island. It's in the coast of Puerto Rico, but in the southeast.
Popped up. Let's see if it's in play. LeMahieu. It's over the screen.
Well, Michael, 12 years in the big leagues, not being an offensive catcher, just a defender behind the plate. That's a lot of years, man. You got to give credit to him being able to stay around for this long.
Well, last year in the ALCS, the Red Sox were up 2-1 in games over the Astros. And then Houston won 3 in a row. And they held the Red Sox to 3 runs in the last 3 games. And Alex Cora, the Red Sox manager, said it's because of Brent Strom and Martin Maldonado, 2 of the smartest people in baseball. They completely changed their strategy against us midway through Game 4. Now, Brent Strom retired from the Astros and is doing a great job in Arizona. And that's high praise from an opposing manager.
5 straight league championship series for this Houston Astros squad.
He's battling Tyone, still 2-2.
The best thing Jameson can do right now is give his team some innings. Obviously, the long ball and the home run ball got him tonight.
Chop toward Torres. 2 away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Altuve 2 for 2, hit by a pitch, 2 runs scored. Line left field, it is another base hit for Altuve, goes into the corner, and he is going to have himself a double.
It's another hit for Altuve. Slider right here. Stood up in the strike zone. Altuve was able to stay back, even though he hit it off the end of the bat. But that's what happened a lot of times when you think middle and you're a little bit up front, you still have left field in play. Altuve did that.
Well, Altuve's second double and third hit knocks out Tyone. And the Yankees go to Litke to face Brantley. Got the T-Mobile coverage cam, and it followed our former colleague Jim Cott, who got the Yankees Lifetime Achievement Award, and he was presented with that beautiful trophy by Nestor Cortez. Jim pitched for the Yankees, worked at MSG, and was part of the group that was on the air when Yes began as well. Two of his grandsons with him, so a nice moment for our former colleague Jim Cott. And he's also going to get into the Hall of Fame this year and have his number retired by the Twins. Jameson Taillon not feeling too good about his performance tonight. The runner at second is his responsibility. He gave up 6 runs and 10 hits in 5 2/3. So Litke will face Brantley. Brantley actually hits lefties quite well. 1-0.
And coming into this game, too, Brantley, more walks than strikeouts. 29 walks and only 27 strikeouts. So kind of fitting. It's a theme of this Astros lineup over the last few years, is a high contact team. There are a lot of contact hitters. Alex Bregman in that category as well. More walks than strikeouts.
Fly ball. Shallow center coming on Judge. Makes the play, and that'll do it. Litke gets out of the inning. Astros strand 1.
I got hot at the right time in the playoffs, you know, when the team needed the most. And, you know, at the same time, I was having such a fun time. There was not a lot of things that, you know, that happened in that series that kind of went wrong. I got on base a lot.
You said you did it at the perfect time in the postseason. You also were a free agent at the end of the year, so you did it at the perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was fun. But at the same time, Michael, I have to say that I had good years in Kansas City, but I never played in a platform where, you know, who's watching Kansas City games? You know, small market team. When I got traded to the Astros, that was a better platform for me to show people what I was capable of doing.
Aaron Judge leads off, bottom of the 6th inning. Now, there's no one from that, obviously, 0-4 team still around. But when you watch this team, is it weird seeing some of your former teammates play? Do you feel a connection to them?
I do feel a connection, you know, with them. You know, I share the same locker with some of the guys, and when you share the same space with some of the guys, you know, you get to know them as a person. And in my case, I got to get along with all of them. And like you mentioned, you know, a lot of guys are long gone, but, you know, there's some of them that I really spend quality time with them.
1-1 on Judge. So when you walked into that clubhouse today, how were you greeted?
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I took a lot of pride, Michael, in being a good teammate. That was one of my thoughts, you know, as a player. I wanted to be a good teammate. I wanted to help the people around me. I know that I, you know, did the best I could in the offseason. So I know that helping the younger guys was going to be something good for me. So I feel like I did that.
That ball almost knocked over one of your former teammates, but he stayed with it and made the play to retire Judge. Now we'll find out the answer to this trivia question. Who are the 5 current Astros who played on the 17 World Series championship team? So it's Altuve, Bregman, Verlander, Gurriel. Who's number 5?
Who's number 5?
Lance McCullers.
McCullers, yes.
Rizzo takes upstairs. Yankees have not had a base runner since the first inning. And here's this hard hit ball by Judge.
It's 118 miles an hour off of Judge's bat, and Altuve cannot believe it.
He's going like, whoa.
That almost knocked him onto the Grand Concourse. According to StatCast, that was the hardest hit ball by Aaron Judge all year.
And that's the part of baseball you don't understand for now. You know, sometimes you don't have to hit it hard. You just have to hit it where there's nobody defending you.
1-1 on Rizzo. Last Yankee base runner, the walk by Hicks with 2 outs in the first inning. 14 in a row down against Valdez. Check swing, foul ball. 1-2.
It's been an impressive adjustment for Valdez out there. We saw him struggle in the first inning with his curveball. Stanton took him deep. Since that point, has been locked down and gone back to his sinker and more of a cutter slider and kind of put that curveball in his back pocket.
Grounded foul.
The Yankees' expected batting average based on the quality of their contact off of Valdez, just 168 tonight. He has controlled the lineup after the first inning. And right back to number 1 with the sinker. That has led the way for him tonight so far.
Yeah, David, you know, there was no doubt that he showed some frustration early in the game about not feeling the ball, but now it seems like he just had the rhythm the pitchers are looking forward to have.
Reached out and spoiled that one. Still 1-2.
There's an interesting point, Carlos, in terms of not using the pitch com here, pitcher and catcher. And Maldonado back there is very demonstrative in the way he gives signals. And that's something that's lost with a pitch com. Something that Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, told me about that he thought was important part of the game is how you give signals. Not just what signs you put down, but the message you're sending. Even though he's got the pitch com on his leg right there. When they don't have it, they go to the signal calling.
I mean,
it's kind of been both. He's used both the pitch com and the signal calling at times tonight. But the way he gives signs, it's kind of different.
Yes, Michael, and I mean, David, and I agree with you. He's a guy that takes so much pride behind the plate that even when he gives signs, you know, he's not taken for granted. You know, he want to give the signs with meaning. You know, he want to make sure that the opposing team who is out there, if it's somebody on base, he don't want to give anything away. That's Martin Maldonado. And catchers, you know, sometimes they get lazy and sometimes they take pride like Martin.
And it's interesting to see the way he's using PitchCom. He has it attached to Velcro, and he's holding it in the hand that would normally give the signals, so he could actually move his hand and demonstrate to the pitcher the authority that he wants that pitch thrown, and then he'll put it back on the Velcro.
Exactly. This is the advantage for pitchers. He's getting it right now before he's on the rubber. And that's something that a lot of people have talked about. Maybe that needs to change in the future, where the pitcher actually has to engage the rubber before you can give him the pitch count.
Great at bat here for Rizzo, really making Valdez work, and he hasn't worked for a couple of, well, he's obviously worked, but hasn't really had any kind of problem. So 10 pitches so far. That's the sequence. What does he go to now? Just shook off Maldonado twice.
3 times.
Two and two.
This is why Rizzo gets the call, is because he's standing on top of home plate. So he makes that look inside, even though it's a strike.
That's a great point, David. You know, he just looks so close on the plate that the umpire just seeing that ball just traveling, you know, below the barrel. I mean, the knob of the bat.
2-2. Well, if anything, they're building up his pitch count now. He's up to 87.
You know, Alex Cora, as I mentioned before, the reason why he thought that was an important part of the game and why some of the Red Sox catchers don't use PitchCom is that the way you give signs can send a message to the pitcher. It could also can instill confidence. Sometimes if a pitcher shakes you off, he'll give the same sign again to say, no, go with me. I know what I'm doing back here, and kind of give him a fist pump. Tony Pena was like that for years when he was a catcher. That's something that, you know, it's interesting. It's a concept, but something that might be lost in the shuffle of the new technology.
Well, this will be the 13th pitch of this at bat against Rizzo. Rizzo's 0 for 2 against Valdez. 6-3 Astros lead the Yankees. We're on the bottom of the 6th inning. And another foul ball. All right, David, now level of frustration as a pitcher having a 14-pitch at bat.
Yeah, the foul balls after 2 strikes are always annoying for pitchers. Foul balls are great to get to 2 strikes, first pitch or second pitch, but after you have 2 strikes, you want them to swing and miss or put it in play with weak contact, preferably.
Level of confidence rising for the hitter now?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, like in Rizzo's case, seems like as long as he stays in that at bat, he will find a way to hopefully get a ball that he can drive.
And he's worked the count full.
You know, and something that I have seen on Rizzo lately, just the way that he's been swinging the bat. You know, the last 30 games, only 222, last 15, 288, and last 7, 300. So it's a sign for me that every day at the plate he feels better.
15th pitch. Drop down the pitch sequence again, guys, because I want the screen to look like Bloomberg News. I think that'd be cool. There you go. Like a stock market right there. Well, this at bat has energized this crowd. How about that? How about that at bat by Rizzo? 16 pitches and he works a walk, and the Yankees finally get a base runner. First one since the first inning.
Tremendous at bat by Rizzo. Just being able to fight.
1-0 to Stanton.
That at bat makes that happen. You got to get on the phone now and maybe get somebody up in the bullpen.
Take a look at Stanton's home run in the first inning. Hanging breaking ball. Takes it the other way into the second deck. A 3-run home run tied the game at 3. But then Alvarez's home run gave him a 6-3 lead. And that at bat by Rizzo has unnerved him to the point now it's causing another trip to the mound after he starts off 2-0 on the next batter.
Well, I kind of saw Alvarez just doing something different on the last pitch to Rizzo. Basically, like, trying to mess with his timing. He took a long time trying to play out like, you know, he was Nelson Cortez on the mound. Took his time just to try to disrupt the timing on Anthony Rizzo.
So Josh Miller with a quick trip to the mound. (16-pitch walk to Rizzo, more than the total pitches he threw. Get this, in the second, third, and fifth innings. And now he's at 93 pitches. Just like that, how it could change. Let's see if the Yankees can take advantage. 2-0. Fly ball right field. Tucker makes the play for the second out. And here is Gleyber Torres. He is 0 for 2 against Framber Valdez. Rizzo leads off first. Phil Maton warming in the Astros bullpen. Now, even if the Yankees don't score here, that 16-pitch at bat might have taken Valdez out of the picture for the 7th inning.
Absolutely, the residual effect. If he can get out of this inning.
He was working so quickly. Great pace, and now he's slowed down considerably. The 1-0. 2-0. That's who's on the bench for the Yankees. Throw to first. Now, pitch-by-pitch data goes back to 1988. So it's relatively new when you look at the history of baseball. So it goes back to 1988, and that 16-pitch walk was the longest at-bat by a Yankee in terms of number of pitches. 2-0. 2-1. Occasionally Valdez steps off, takes a look around this ballpark, sees the big crowd, rubs up the baseball. Three and one. Aaron Hicks is on deck. Whole right side of the infield is open. Altuve shades up the middle, and Gurriel holding on Rizzo. 3-1. On 3-1, he lays a fastball in there for a strike. Runner will go. 3-2. Pop foul behind the plate.
Valdez's high pitch count this year, 114. A complete game 2 hitter against Oakland back on May 30th. So he's been over 100 pitches 4 different times this year.
Now, the Rizzo at bat started at 75 pitches. Now he's at 100. Again, Rizzo will be going with 2 outs, and Glaber calls time. Strike 3. Torres down looking. Got him with a change. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. They made Valdez work, but he gets out of it as we go to the 7th. Astros 6 and the Yankees 3. Litke came on to get the final out of the 6th. He's still in there, facing Bregman here to start the 7th. First pitch inside, 1-0. Bregman with a 3-run home run in the 1st inning, a single off the foot of Tyone in the 3rd, and then he struck out looking in the 5th. Popped up. And out of play. Hector Neris is on for the Astros. David, you remember that famous fantasy football league with the Tommy Pham incident and Jock Peterson and Mike Trout as the commissioner?
Sure.
Bregman won it.
Yes. Mike Trout told us that.
What he won?
Well, I think there were like 7 people in it, right? And I think the entrance fee was 10 grand.
Okay.
So I think he did okay.
That's good.
The buy-in is 10 grand.
You know, that fantasy football league has garnered more attention than just probably any other one in history since fantasy football's been around.
Well, there were punches thrown and everything.
Well, at least a slap that we know of.
Well,
one man's slap is another man's punch.
yes. I mean, Michael, you slapped me and we're fighting, brother. I mean,
Well, I would agree, but it didn't seem like it led to it. It was a slap and that was it, and they broke it up. Pham slapped Peterson. Because I think Peterson said something derogatory about Pham's team.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a little deeper than that. It had to do with the rules and.
Yeah, stashing injured players.
Yes, exactly.
Too much mental work. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Litke strikes out Bregman. Hey, next Thursday, watch Sabrina Ionescu and the New York Liberty take on the Atlanta Dream at Barclays Center. Coverage begins at 7, streaming live on the YES app. So here's Alvarez, and he's the difference in the game right now. His 3-run home run in the 3rd has certainly held up, giving him 22. And only one man in the majors has more, and that's guy in center field, Aaron Judge. Now, Alvarez is a guy who says he likes to play here. He said whenever a player goes to New York and plays there, it's just really exciting with the history of that team and the ballpark. And we know they're a really good team.
Alvarez gave them quite a scare about a week ago when he hurt his wrist, and they thought maybe he might have broken his hamate bone, but x-rays were negative, and here he is.
Ground ball. And Mayhew. 2 away. And here's Kyle Tucker. Tucker's had a good night. He's 2 for 3, a double and a single.
Top 5 hitters in the Astros lineup have done all the damage, with Altuve leading the way with a 3 for 3 night.
Tap slowly to LeMahieu. Tough hop. He stays with it. And he will get Tucker for the final out. So the Astros go down in order 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Astros 6, Yankees 3. And the Cadillac game summary: 6-10-0 for the Astros, 3-2-0 for the Yankees. Valdez 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs. Taillon 5 2/3, 10 hits, 6 runs. Bregman and Alvarez each with 3-run home runs, and Stanton with a 3-run home run. That's the scoring, nice and easy to recap that. And now the Astros go to the bullpen. Hector Neris. This will be his 33rd game. And first up will be Aaron Hicks.
Some great points by Jack Curry and John Flaherty there. Jameson Taillon had a really low home run to fly ball rate coming into this game. Those numbers tend to normalize or over the course of a year, bigger sample size. Taillon had the 5th lowest in the American League coming into this game, Michael, a 7.5% home run per fly ball rate. Major League average is around 11%. Taillon's career average is right around 11.5%.
An announced crowd of 44,071 here at the stadium on this Thursday evening. 1-1. Big cut. 1-2. Hicks, IKF, and Trevino against Neris. Neris signed a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Astros on December 1st. Team option for 2024. Previously, he had only pitched for the Phillies. 8th big league season. Right side, and Hicks is down. Time now for a word from the Home Depot.
Know before you go and avoid any curveballs. Use the Home Depot project calculators to know exactly how much you need.
So here is Kiner Falefa. One and 0. Grounded foul. I thought of you when I saw this note, David. 1963, on this day, Jimmy Pearsall of the Mets hit his 100th career home run. He hit it off the Phil's Dallas Green, and he ran the bases facing backwards. I said, I think David could be friends with Jimmy Pearsall.
He's a legend.
And just having gotten to know Dallas Green, I'm sure he was not happy about it.
No, I mean, behind the scenes, there was some real mental illness there before when that was frowned on. To talk up or say anything about that. Hey, I've got some problems. I got some anxiety. It's one of the positive changes in the game today where players are much more supported than they were back then.
and that's a great thing. Strike 3. IKF down looking, 2 away.
Right down Broadway. No argument from Kiner Falefa. Neris is known for his splitter. You get caught looking for that. That's how you take a pitch right down the middle.
Trevino takes inside, 1-0.
It's a nice and easy 95. Loose arm.
High fly ball, deep center. Siri back, still back. He has room. And he makes the play as the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We're going to the 8th. Time for the electric moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Well, what a great at-bat from Anthony Rizzo. One of the best you're ever going to see, battling, fighting off pitches. Right and left, everything that Valdez has in his arsenal, Rizzo saw and either took it or fouled it off. Until finally, at the end of the day, it's coming, I promise. Stay with me. He walks. That is an electric moment.
New Yankee pitcher is Albert Abreu. New old Yankee pitcher. So with Texas and Kansas City, 11 games, 16 walks in 13 innings. And that's not what he was with the Yankees. And Aaron Boone explained today, we think there's something there that we could get him back to what he was with us because he pitched some important innings for us last year. We think we could find that, and that's why they took a flyer on him. Grounded and past the diving LeMahieu and down the left field line. Gurriel is going to pick up at least a double. He's steaming around second, and he'll stop right there as the throw comes all the way into third.
Well, Gurriel hitting the ball down the line. DJ trying to make that catch. You know, Gurriel very struggling at the plate as a hitter. It's a good feeling when you come through for your team, but most importantly, when you get to, you know, see good success and good results.
Well, the Yankees are expecting a bunt with Dubon at the plate. In at first is Rizzo. Rizzo and his aggressive approach on these bunt plays allows the third baseman to stay at third because he's cutting over. Even if the ball is bunted toward third, he's going to cut in front of the pitcher and get it.
Yeah, Keith Hernandez style.
Kind of a proud moment, I'm sure, for the Yankee front office. Abreu was one of the 2 players that they sent to Texas for Trevino. Now they get him back for nothing. They picked him up off of waivers after he was designated for assignment by the Royals. 3-0.
You know, Michael, I got to see Abreu when I worked for Cashman in the front office, and I got the opportunity to go to the AAA just to see Severino pitch few, you know, minor league games. And Abreu, what I saw in him is that he has a good arm. I hope that he will listen more. You know, the sense that I got it from me is just one of those kids that understand that he has a talent, but at the same time he thinks that he will get away with his talent, and it's not about that in baseball. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to make adjustments. So Abreu certainly has the talent, you know, and I hope Severino, being the leader in the clubhouse, you know, can get him through, you know, because he's a young pitcher.
So there's just a stubborn streak?
that was the sense that I got. That was the sense that I got. But there's no doubt that he wants to pitch at this level. But in order for you to pitch at this level consistently, you have to listen. You have to be willing to try new things and make adjustments. And if he's capable of doing that, there's no doubt that the talent and the sky's the limit for him.
So he walks Dubon, first and second, nobody out, and that'll bring up Siri.
And when I'm talking about listening, I'm talking about listening to your pitching coach, listening to your manager, listening to the veteran guys in the clubhouse. And if you're willing to do that, certainly as a player, you have to understand that people are rooting for you. People want you to be successful. And everyone in that ball club, wants you to be successful. So when they say something to you, you better listen when you're a younger guy.
Meredith, you caught up with Abreu.
Well, Michael, we're seeing what really has plagued Abreu this season, walking the second batter of the inning. It's been a matter of him walking a lot of guys, and he was talking a little bit about it earlier today. He was trying to use his slider a little bit more, and he felt as though that affected him and his mechanics. And then as he tried to tweak his mechanics, he could never really get in a rhythm. When I saw him here at the ballpark today, I said, "Welcome back, Albert." He had a huge smile on his face. He is excited to be back here, and he thinks there's a comfort level to being back in that clubhouse with guys he's familiar with, like a Severino Carlos. He thinks that can help him get back on track. And the Yankees have always liked his arm. It was never a matter of that.
Yankees expecting bunt again with Siri at the plate. Not bunting. And he pops it up. Torres makes the play in foul territory. And the infield fly rule was actually called on that, but it's caught in foul territory for the first out. .8% walk ratio this season, the highest in the majors, with a minimum of 50 batters faced. So here's Martin Maldonado. 6-3 Astros lead. The Yankees on the other side of the scorecard, they just haven't been able to do anything since the first inning. The only base runner they had was that marathon at bat by Rizzo, which resulted in a walk. They have not had a hit since then. That's the only base runner. Two and 0.
Just to kind of bring it full circle, Michael, Albert Abreu was originally acquired for Brian McCann from Houston, a young flamethrower prospect in the Houston organization. When Gary Sanchez showed up, Brian McCann was traded to Houston, and that was he was part of the package originally for that Brian McCann trade. And when you throw the ball in the upper 90s, you're going to continue to get opportunities. So.
.3-0 count on Maldonado. And there's a strike.
And David, if you're being a package of the trade, it means that you have talent. It means that somebody's seeing something that you could really be a difference maker for any team in baseball.
3-2 on Maldonado. One pitch away from loading the bases for Jose Altuve. So he wants to go right after Maldonado here. Yankees trying to hold it right here at 6-3, 6-11-0, leading 3-2-0. Both Yankee hits in the first. 3-2. Fouled away.
See, and as a pitcher, you have to take a look at Maldonado's swings right here, right? So late on the fastball. So as a pitcher, you have to be thinking, why I have to throw something different, David?
No reason. Just set up down the middle for the catcher. Aim down the middle and let your natural stuff take over.
Right back to Abreu. Bad throw, but there's one on the first double play. That was some play at second base on the bad throw to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Rafael Montero, his 30th game. He's having a real good year. More than a strikeout per inning, perhaps a bit too many walks, but pitching to a 1.95 ERA. So Severino joined the tutorial class, talking with Trevino and Abreu.
Yeah, I love to see that. I love to see that.
And Severino will start tomorrow against Verlander. Here's Gallo against Montero. 1-0.
Rafael Montero, former Mets farmhand and a prospect in their organization, has developed into a pretty decent reliever. Good run on his two-seam sinker.
High pop-up. Long run. And the play will be made by Dubon. He was all the way on the right side of the infield and made the play. Montero and Jacob deGrom made their debuts back-to-back against the Yankees in the Subway Series, and Montero was considered the higher-level prospect. But remember that game? deGrom was outstanding. You could see he was going to be something real special.
Yeah, we did that game. I remember James Smythe was there too and gave me one of the best scout reports on Jacob deGrom that you will ever hear about an injury that he got with a bull.
Please share.
What do you mean, David?
Well, I have to go back and look at my notes a little bit, but he worked on a farm, and I think he was a very unusual injury.
That was in 2014, both of their debuts.
Yeah, we were working that game over at Citi Field, I believe. There was a point where they thought Montero was going to be a starting pitcher, and he is just one of those guys that just is better suited for relief.
Two and one on LeMahieu.
deGrom broke his finger trying to. I don't know how you put that, Carlos. I mean, there's only one way to put it. He was helping castrate a bull and broke his finger. The best scouting report I ever got.
He's a farmer.
Two and two on LeMahieu. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Again, the Yankees only hits a single by Judge and a home run by Stanton. Held to 2 hits in this game. Strike 3. LeMahieu down looking against Montero.
Two-seamer right down the middle. Martin threw a third base before the umpire called it a strike.
Now, the Astros bullpen has an ERA of 2.55. That's the best in the majors. Also, they lead the majors in save percentage at 82.6% and home runs per 9 innings pitched, 0.53. All right-handers, and all of them seemingly effective. Used the right way by Dusty Baker and crew. There's a strike, 1-1 on Judge. Judge, hard single through the left side of the infield in the first, struck out in the third, and then his hardest hit ball of the season, exit velocity-wise, almost knocked over Altuve, but the second baseman made the play starting off the 6th inning. Just a hard one-hopper. Two and one.
What it seems to me watching the bullpen of Houston is just that everyone that's coming in is giving you a different view, different look, you know. And if you have all righties, you have to have that type of, you know, all those pitchers where, you know, some of them they give you sinkers, some of them they give you a good changeup or good secondary pitch. So it seems like having all righties for them is working pretty well.
You know, the Braves have their top pitching prospect as a starting pitcher down in AAA, and he's been dominant so far. A kid by the name of Hunter Brown, who could come up and push one of their starters to help out that already very strong bullpen, whether that's Javier or Urquidy.
Grounded to third, grabbed there by Bregman across the diamond. The throw is high, and the throw is dropped as Judge will reach. Gurriel tried to tag Judge, and the tag dislodged the baseball.
Well, good job by Judge, just going through the bag and just making that contact allowed that ball to just come off the glove.
Scored an E5 on Bregman on the throw. So here's Rizzo. He of the 16 pitch, 6th inning walk. Two outs. Three infielders on the right side. Altuve essentially in short right field.
Michael, sometimes all you need just a little break like that. A little play like that will allow you to get on base and get close in the game.
Two and 0.
Dominican Republic has developed so many flamethrowers, right, throughout the years, starting like with one of the ones that we know, Pedro Martinez.
Yes. You see a little bit of Pedro Martinez stylistically in a lot of the pitchers from Dominican Republic, and rightly so.
High fly ball, right field. Tucker back, leaps, and he makes the play. Oh, what a play by Kyle Tucker to end the inning. Montero could not believe it. Looked like it had a chance, but he goes up to get it and takes away an extra base hit to end the 8th. By Kyle Tucker to end the bottom of the 8th inning. Don't know if this would have gone out, Carlos.
Well, yeah. I mean, he hit the ball extremely well. You know, Michael Tucker did a great job. You're just jumping on the fly. You know, this is like a do-or-die play as an outfielder. So if that ball, you miss that ball, that's a triple, you know, or maybe a home run. Tremendous play.
Well, you saw the reaction of Montero, what that means to a pitcher, what that means to a team. So the Yankees bid for their first hit since the first inning, snatched away by Tucker. The Yankees now go to Miguel Castro, his 27th game, and he has had a topsy-turvy year. You see, his last 12 games, 8.64 ERA. His first 14 games, a 1.46 ERA. First pitch strike on Altuve. Popped up. Rizzo on the outfield grass makes the play, one away. Well, fans, please stay tuned after the final out for the WV Mason Yankees postgame and get highlights, analysis, and complete player reaction from tonight's opener against the Astros. Plus, Aaron Boone on the manager's report, and much more. So here's Michael Brantley. He is 1 for 4. He singled in the first inning right before Bregman's 3-run home run. All the runs coming via the home run. Bregman's 3-run home run in the first, followed by Stanton's 3-run home run in the bottom of the inning to tie the game. And then Alvarez with a 3-run home run in the third. And that's it. 6-3. Astros lead here in the 9th inning.
The Astros with 11 hits, though, and the Yankees only 2. It's been pretty one-sided. The Yankees are kind of fortunate that it's only 6-3.
Two and one. Now Ryan Presley's the man with 14 saves out there. And unless they put up a crooked number and turn this into a non-save situation, he's probably coming in to pitch the bottom of the 9th. 2-2 on Brantley.
The boogie board slider right there. That thing took off, didn't it? Made a left-hand turn.
Rip to right, Gallo there, 2 outs. So who's coming up in the bottom of the 9th for the Yanks? It'll be Stanton, 3 for 6 against Presley. Torres, 2 for 5 against Presley. And Aaron Hicks, 1 for 2. So here's Bregman. He's 2 for 4. The 3-run home run, then the single off the foot of Tyone. Tyone's had such a wonderful year for the Yankees, and this was probably under the heading of his worst start. He really labored, gave up those 2 3-run home runs, but he did give the Yankees 5 2/3. And then they turned it over to the bullpen. And the Yankees have done nothing but win, really, in the Tyone starts. 11-2 in his 13 previous starts. So if that number's going to go to 12-2, they're going to have to rally in the bottom of the 9th. 3-0 to Bregman. Remember, Alvarez lurks. And he walked him. And really, that is the issue with Castro. His stuff is filthy, but sometimes he just loses command, and his stuff moves so much that sometimes he can't throw strikes. I mean, his arsenal is so seductive. His arm, you crave an arm like that, but again, he's tall, lanky, a lot of moving parts, and sometimes he can't find the plate.
Yeah, 6 balls and 5 strikes out of those 11 pitches.
So that walk gives Alvarez a swing here in the ninth. Pitch way outside. So Alvarez, he's 2 for 4. The 3-run home run, that's the difference. That was in the 3rd inning. Then a single to right center in the 5th. The 1-1. 6-11-1 for the Astros. 3-2-0 for the Yanks. Yankees got Castro from the Mets in a rare cross-down deal, and they send Joely Rodriguez over to Queens, and he has really struggled and labored. Castro got off to the great start, but has been giving up runs in the last 12 games. Swing and a miss. Filthy changeup right there. Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Cadillac player of the game.
Well, the Houston Astros starter, Framber Valdez, had a tough first inning. The 3-run shot there from Giancarlo Stanton. But from that point on, it was shut down city. He got through 6 innings, 2 hits given up on the night, ended up striking out 7 batters as well. So he righted the ship, did Framber Valdez, who's had a really good year as well. It has a shot to make the All-Star team for the American League.
All right, so the Astros 6 runs on 11 hits. They've committed 1 error. The Yankees just 2 hits, both in the first inning, and that resulted in 3 runs. They have played clean baseball. So now they'll have to get to Ryan Presley, who's had himself a real good year. 14 out of 16 in save opportunities, 2.41 ERA. 15 strikeouts in 18 and 2/3 innings with 6 walks.
He was one of the original high spin rate guys that the Houston Astros identified early on in the analytics era, and he still has really good spin on his breaking stuff.
10th big league season, 33 years old. Just before opening day, signed a 2-year, $30 million extension. And he'll face Stanton to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Yankees' 14-game home winning streak is in jeopardy. Tied for the 6th longest in franchise history, and their longest since a 15-gamer in 1961. And Presley wanted to talk with Maldonado, calls him out. And the umpire's joining that conversation. Maybe this is about pitch com's not working. Otherwise, that would be a trip to the mound.
Just want to know what the password was, Carlos. What's the password again for the Wi-Fi?
Password.
Don't say it.
I give it to my.
Don't say it. Secret stuff. Yankees have been great in the first games of series. 19-3 in the first game of a series, and 18-1 in their last 19 series. So a lot on the line here in the bottom of the 9th. Two 2-0 as the Yankees need a couple of base runners. One thing we've seen from the Yankees, they do not usually go down quietly. When they lost on Sunday against Toronto, to the last at bat they had the chance. Same thing the second game against Tampa Bay. Three
20 comebacks, Michael, for the Yankees this year. So it's been a lot of them. A lot of exciting moments at the end.
Three and one.
See, this is an at bat right here where 3-1 count, middle of the lineup. You want to take your A swing right here. This is like, I need to hit this ball as hard as I can.
And there's ball 4. So in his last 20 games, Stan has had a walk rate of 20.8%. So he gets a walk here to start off the ninth. And that brings up Gleyber Torres. Gleyber 0 for 3 tonight. A ground ball to third and 2 strikeouts, 1 looking. One and 0. Top step of the dugout time here in the Bronx.
You look at this part of the lineup, Carlos, and Hicks is on deck, and then Kiner-Falefa, Trevino, and Gallo. You do have Carpenter as a potential pinch hitter.
Yes, you do. It's a great point.
Check swing, couldn't get out of the way. Foul ball, 1-1.
I'm not sure who would you pinch hit for if you get the opportunity. You need another base runner here, obviously. Hicks is going to batting left-handed. Kiner-Falefa is a good contact guy, and then Trevino's been a cult hero, but Matt Carpenter's been pretty good too. Let's get another look here.
David, I will always go with the numbers. Last 7 days for Trevino has been, he's been hitting 105. So Carpenter could be the guy pinch hitting for Trevino.
Especially against a curveball guy. A right-hander that has the kind of stuff Presley does. He continues to struggle throwing strikes at this point.
There's no doubt that he has had clutch hits, and he had a big home run in Tampa. But numbers, to me, don't lie.
Especially in this ballpark.
The 2-1. 2-2 on the foul ball. Now, the last time the Yankees lost at home, May 23rd against the Orioles, Cole, 8 innings, gave up 5 runs. The next night, the Yankees came back to beat the Orioles in extra innings, winning in the 11th on Trevino's walk-off single. Starting with that game, 14-0 at home, 22-5 overall, and their lead in the American League East grew from 4.5 games to 12 games. Crowd looking to make this 15 in a row. And Torres wants something.
Inside. This is an at-bat and an opportunity right here that you really want your eyes to be working properly. Just give me something. Give me an eye drop. Just give me something.
Bernie Williams used to do the old bug in the eye trick, or he'd step out of the box just to stall. This is legit here. He got some issues.
Well, Presley pacing. The Yankees are trying to get him all shook up. Well, Dusty's seen a lot of baseball, so he's seen everything unfold on the field. Veteran manager with 2,030 wins, 10th all time. Managed in 3,790 games.
Isn't there a new Elvis Presley movie out, Michael?
There is a new one out, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but it got great reviews.
That's a huge haul in second base. You know, it's time for Gleyber to think about that, becoming the hitter.
And the 3-2. He bounced it. Ball 4. 2 straight walks to open up the inning. I told you they don't go quietly, so now that at least brings up the tying run in the bottom of the ninth. And against the Yankees, Presley has a 5.71 ERA. That's in 18 games, including the postseason. Well, Hicks has been hitting better of late. The one thing that's missing, he has not been able to put the ball in the seats. And that's something that he has noted and he's trying to work on, but he has hit the ball hard. And in the month of June, hitting close to 300. There's a strike. Stanton's at second. Torres is at first. Hicks at the plate is a tying run. The Yankees trail 6-3 here in the bottom of the ninth. Check swing, but it was a strike, called strike nonetheless. 0-2.
Outthinking himself. You got to be sitting, if you think, you got to be sitting breaking ball or off speed to take a fastball like that right there in this situation.
Fouled away. Still 0-2.
I mean, it's difficult, Carlos. As a pitcher, I would try to read that from hitters. Is he sitting on a pitch? Is he looking for something? Is he guessing? Instead of just hitting off the fastball and being aggressive.
That's a great point, David. I mean, you know, he looked like he was looking for something else. He was so late on the fastball right down the middle.
3 infielders right side. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, 1-2.
Presley's best pitch is that high spin curveball, well over 3,000 RPMs on average for that curveball he throws. Also has a slider and a cutter. But off of that high fastball, he might be trying to set up that good curveball right here.
Crowd of over 44,000, most of them standing. And the pitch. High drive, right field. There it goes. See ya. There's the home run. He ties it with one swing. It is 6-6.
Well, Michael, you say it, that he needed to work on the home run swing, and he did it right here. When the Yankees needed the most, come through with a big fly to right field to tie the game. That's got to be exciting.
Oh, 0-1. That sounded like the Bronx in here.
Aaron Hicks, how you like me now? got beat with a fastball early in the count. He wasn't going to let it happen twice. Presley outthought himself this time.
Well, he knows.
That's a look that says about time. Ground ball left side. Diving stop by Dubon, but no play. IKF reaches with the potential winning run.
Well, high cutter. Kiner Falefa, a high contact player with good wheels.
Well, can Trevino be the hero for the second night in a row? Kiner Falefa has 10 stolen bases.
Four-seam fastball right on the middle.
Maldonado is right at the major league average. He catches 23% of attempted base stealers. Four 3-run home runs in this game, accounting for the 6-6 score. Trevino shows bunt and takes a strike.
A lot of looking around, a lot of sign giving, a lot of strategy being contemplated, and that man with his demon sinker is getting ready to go.
And the 0-1. Missed. 1-1. That time the bunt was off.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Rather than pinch hit, he goes with Trevino. Squares around the first pitch, doesn't on this one. Is he thinking about putting a play on? Is he thinking about getting Kiner Falefa in motion here? Houston double play depth. Straight up defensively.
Trevino 0 for 3 tonight. Ground ball to second, fly ball to right, fly ball to center. And again, he steps out and takes a look down at third base coach Luis Rojas.
Did you bunt here, Carlos?
I mean, my game, I always wanted to be looking at the game. This is an opportunity. Why not? I mean,
runner goes. Throw to second. Not nearly. Oh, they got him. His foot must have come off the bag. The tag by Dubon gets IKF. And they're going to challenge.
Bang, bang. Does the foot underneath? Foot on the bag, tag on the thigh. It's got a chance to be overturned.
There, he's in.
he's safe.
And he did not come off, so from up here it looked like that he was in there. Wow. Is it enough? Is it enough to overturn?
A little closer on that last view.
Yeah. The crowd seeing it through pinstripe glasses, see it on the center field scoreboard, they're thinking it's going to be overturned. I'm not so certain, though.
He's safe. Looks safe.
So Beltran goes with safe.
Nonetheless, a very interesting strategy from Aaron Boone, going with the straight steal. Trevino not swinging.
That was a ball, so the count 2-1. IKF is hopefully standing still at second base, that the call will be overturned. But once the call was made, he was quickly running off the field until the Yankees challenged. Heck of a throw, heck of a tag.
Did the glove get him on the elbow? No. On the thigh, right there. Wow.
I don't know, Carlos, if there's enough to overturn it.
That angle right there might work against the Yankees.
Out.
No, he's just talking to Chapman at first. They have not announced anything yet. This is so close. And the Astros have the advantage because the call on the field is out. So there has to be something conclusive to tell you that it's safe.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner's out.
Well, Boone didn't like that it wasn't overturned. So the count 2-1 now on Trevino. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. The game is tied at 6. 2-2. And the pitch. 3-2. Joey Gallo is on deck. Presley gets the sign and deals the 3-2. Foul back here and out of play. Curveball upstairs.
One thing Trevino's done exceptionally well this year is when he gets breaking balls in the strike zone, he gets the barrel of the bat out in front and gets some good launch. Really good at hitting pulled fly balls this year when he gets a pitch to handle.
And the 3-2. Line drive, center field, that's a base hit. Ball knocked down by Siri, and Trevino gets himself a one-out single. And here comes Dusty Baker. And he's going to go to the bullpen with Gallo due up. He'll bring on Ryan Stanek. So the Yankees get to the closer of the Astros, the big 3-run home run by Hicks. Presley out of the game, Stanek coming in. And Hicks electrified a crowd of over 44,000, and everyone watching on Yes, and his teammates as well. A 3-run shot into the Bronx night, 6-6. Morning, and other than the first inning looked a little flat, but nothing flat about Aaron Hicks' big 3-run home run off of Ryan Presley. The emotion pouring out of him, pouring out of his teammates, and from the crowd as well. So we are 6-6. Winning runners at first base, Jose Trevino. And Ryan Stanek will come on. Now, the Yankees are off to one of the greatest starts in their history, but the objects of derision from the fan base have been Aaron Hicks and the guy at the plate right now, Joey Gallo. Well, the people that have been against Hicks will have to take a seat, at least for this inning. Now, Joey Gallo can quiet the crowd as well, coming through here and winning this game. Gallo is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And there's a strike from Stanek.
It's been a lot of comparisons to the 1998 team with this current Yankees team. And it's games like this that even bring it more into context.
Oh 2 on Gallo. The Yankees have seen a lot of Stanek when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays. Last couple years with the Astros. 0-2 count on Gallo. Swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes. 2 away. And that'll bring up LeMahieu.
Fastball open the strike zone. Gallo been chasing that pitch all year long.
Trevino at first with 2 men out. Bottom of the 9th. 6-6 game. And a wave at that pitch by LeMahieu. 0-1. LeMahieu is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. One and one. On deck is Aaron Judge. This crowd had not had much to cheer about tonight, but they're cheering here in the 9th inning. A jolt of emotion with the Hicks home run to tie it.
Everybody on their feet.
1-2.
It's one of the best parts of Yankee Stadium, Carlos, and I know you played here as well. When you see this kind of activity late in the game, the anticipation, especially the bleacher creatures, really both sides on the bleachers, they're on their feet, anticipating.
There's a great assignment at the ballpark, and you feel it as a player also.
One, 2. 2-2.
It's a Bob Uecker line in there somewhere, isn't it? Down in front. Not here, not now. Everybody on their feet.
That was a very good take by DJ LeMahieu.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 hands together. And the pitch. Did he go? No, he did not. Now, obviously, Trevino will be going. Something hit down the line. He's got a chance to score. Something in the gap. He would have a chance to score. Also, takes away a little bit of the force opportunity. If something is hitting the hole and a great play is made, he can get there because he's running on the pitch.
That's a great point, Michael. Right now, you have to be moving and thinking about base hit in the gap. You have to score.
Runner goes, pitch is high, and that brings up Judge. Well, the stage is set, and he has certainly handled center stage very well so far this year with 27 home runs. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound. How will they go about pitching to Aaron Judge? Carlos, tell me about hero ball. At this point, a single can win the game, but when you're a batter, how much are you thinking about hitting a home run here?
A lot of times you can get caught up in hitting about home runs for sure, no doubt about that. I mean, in Aaron Judge's case, how consistent he has been this year, I don't think right now he's thinking about home run. I think right now he understands that a ball well hit as a base hit could win this ball game.
Well, the meeting on the mound is over. We told you that this was a game, two MVP candidates going at it, Alvarez and Judge. Well, this was against the Blue Jays, a walk-off home run by Judge, and the place was up for grabs. And a little gritty at the end. The Yankees have been gritty and gutty all year, battling back. Let's see if Judge can do it again. Want to know.
That's what being aggressive on the first pitch consistently has done for Aaron Judge. He just scared Stanek off his fastball. Goes first pitch splitter in the dirt. Judge takes it.
Judge pinch hit in the 9th inning on Tuesday and just missed tying the game, driving a ball to the warning track. Two and 0. Trevino, the winning run is at second. LeMahieu's at first, 2 men out. Yankees trying to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Three and 0. Rizzo on deck.
3 straight splitters from Ryan Stanek. Former Tampa Bay Ray, so these guys are very familiar with each other. They've seen each other before.
Driven down the left field line. It is a base hit. It goes into the corner, and the Yankees have done it again. Trevino scores, and they come all the way back for a dramatic 7-6 victory. Their 9th walk-off of the year.
Well, Michael, they have the guy hitting. Aaron Judge, just do it again.
Another splitter on 3-0 just to show you how locked in Aaron Judge is this year. Took 3 in a row, gets one on the 4th, and laces it to left field for the game winner. That was an impressive at-bat.
The team that never quits, refuses to die. Score 4 runs in the 9th inning. The 3-run home run by Hicks. The walk-off single by Judge. And we go down to the field in Meredith Marakovitz.
Thanks, Michael. Aaron, this is this team's now 9th walk-off of the season. How are you guys doing it? Where does the never-quit mentality continue to come from?
You know, it comes from believing in each other. That's what this team's about. You know, we believe in each other. And when you got a packed house like this, how can you not? This is amazing. This is amazing, man. It's, you know, a lot of great at-bats throughout the whole night. to get to this moment.
Yours obviously was the difference maker in this one. Stanek threw you 4 straight splitters. How did you remain locked in throughout that at-bat?
I knew I was going to get the job done. You know, I had faith that I was going to go up there and do my job, and I was able to get a pitch I could handle, and got it done.
How much do you love coming to the plate in those situations with the opportunity to end the game with one swing?
That's when this game's, at its best right there. Moments like that, crowds on their feet, games on the line. There's the moments in your backyard you dream about,
You mentioned some of the other at-bats. You don't get the opportunity to be the hero without that home run from Aaron Hicks. Just how much life did that inject, not only into the stadium, but into that dugout?
Oh, this was a playoffs atmosphere right there. When Hicks hit that homer, I just looked into the bleachers. Everybody was jumping around, going crazy. This is a big series, and we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Aaron, thanks for the time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Send it back to you, Michael.
Oh, thank you, Meredith, and thank you, Aaron Judge, as well. The stadium, electric, shaking, the sound of the Bronx, and it got really loud when ball hit bat, ball hit grass, Trevino hit home, and the Yankees complete a comeback to beat the Astros 7-6 for their 9th walk-off win. This is a special season. The Yankees just keep winning and winning and winning. Different ways, all exciting, all thrilling. Come on back.